What's up, guys? Welcome to the Higher View Podcast, the podcast dedicated to the creative, the outside thinker, and the believer who are seeking community and healthy views on worldly topics. If this is your first time to the show, we welcome you. This is our podcast. This is my beautiful sidekick partner in life.
Hey, what's
This is
up?
my wife, Alexis.
Wifey.
This is our podcast, so if this is your first time, welcome to the show. We are so glad to have you. If you enjoy deep talks, deep conversations, breaking down things, creative ideas, all of that stuff, we are your people.
This is for you.
This is a really good one we got for you guys. So stay tuned. I really feel like this is for somebody. This really just got downloaded into me the last couple of 2 days. So stay tuned.
Yes.
But how are you? How was your day today?
My day is good. Let me think.
How about we go a little bit over the situation that happened today?
Oh my gosh, literally.
We don't have to go like too deep into it, but let's just give them the skim of it.
Okay, so I'm on my way to the salon and I see I have an email. It was before I got on the road, of course, because safety first. But before I got on the road, I saw an email from PayPal and it said invoice over $1,000. And I was like, okay, what? Like, I definitely did not spend $1,000 through PayPal. So just to give you behind this, like going back a little bit, a month ago, I got charged on PayPal about $24 for a membership. It was neither of us. I knew it was not us. I knew somebody was using my stuff. I was like, okay. So I called them. They were able to easily refund me. I deleted that account because that was an account that I never used. So I was just like, I'm going to delete it, So this one, it was through the same emails, through the same account. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening again. So I was so quick to just call them. Like, I'm trying to get it figured out before my client. I'm like, I need to figure this out. That's a lot of money. Like, so I was like, I really need to, call this guy and figure this out. So $1,000, that's a lot of money. It's a lot. Yeah. So I was like, all right, like, that's definitely not me. Yeah. So I was just very stimulated. A lot was going on. I was like, oh my God. So I wasn't really like thinking about anything other than I just need to get this figured out. So I called him. Okay. First of all, the email looked legit. You see where I'm going with this. But the email looked legit. Okay. It was literally PayPal. But when I went back and investigated, I noticed some things were changed. So
it had the PayPal logo on
everything,
it threw me off.
Yeah.
Too,
so it looked exactly like PayPal, have the same copyright stuff, everything. Like they did good job. And so it was an Indian guy on the phone. Usually those can be scammers. Usually.
It's a red flag.
And he just told me I need to download this app and I need to download this app to get my refund and all this stuff. So the app was called Quick Support. And I'm telling you this also just in case if this happens to you. Now you know, don't fall for it. So it was like Quick Support app. And so I downloaded it. It was able to like share screening. So he was obviously on the other side. I didn't recognize that at the point, but I didn't tell him any of my information. He was able to tell me my Wells Fargo information, all kinds of information, my Cash Apps, all kinds of stuff. So that seemed legit if he knows what's going on. And I didn't tell him anything. He knows my debit card number, everything. I'm like, he knows. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like he knows what's up. So then he tells me to go. So I also got fraud, he tells me, on Wells Fargo and Cash App. So which one do I want to start with first? I'm like, okay, well, I'm already on Wells Fargo. So let's do Wells Fargo. So he tells me to go through Zelle and he's about to tell me to send him some money. So I'm literally going through the process about to send him money. And then I stopped after I typed in the amount and I was like, wait, why do I need to send you money to get my refund? Like everything started to click what was going on. He was like, ma'am, because it didn't make any sense. He did a pretty good job, but at the same time,
just fishy.
It was fishy. So I was like, I just felt my peace lift. I was like, this does not feel right. Like I was actually getting pretty heated. So I was like, this isn't right. Like I'm going to call you back later and we'll figure this out. And he was like, ma'am, this is temporary. Or he said, ma'am, there's a time limit. I already gave you a time limit, that 20 minutes when you did call me back. So after this, we will have to you're not going to get your refund. That's also a red flag.
Yeah.
There's no time limit on that. If it's fraud, they're going to take care of it. So yeah, so that's kind of long story short.
Yeah.
But I do want to say one thing. That screen that, what's it called? The
Screen
quick
sharing,
support
yeah.
thing. When I went to Zelle, like I just want to tell you guys, I did not send him money. Thank goodness. I was able to catch on before, block his number and everything. But when I was in the middle of like arguing with him kind of, or not really arguing, but saying like, hey, like this sounds like a scam.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to send you money. He started controlling my phone on the other side of the screen, dude. Like
Pretty trippy. I've never heard of that one.
like he started to like my phone started to do it by itself. Like, are you sure? Do you want to send to this person? Da da da. And it started clicking, and I was like, no, like cancel it. And he tried to go back. Like he tried to get me before I noticed. And then he was like calling me 5 times, texted me, ma'am, like this is yeah.
Texted
so,
you?
yes,
Dang.
and texted. And I blocked him. I was like, that is not PayPal. So be very careful. Be very aware of the little things. Like PayPal will give you your full name, not your email. Like it's a whole thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Just be careful out there.
Honestly,
that's
the email looked pretty legit. Like I'm not even gonna lie, like it looked legit.
Yeah.
It was pretty. It was up there. I mean, they're doing their thing, but
They
props
do,
to them. But
really
it's not
investigate,
cool,
like notice, like there's things different. Like if you got an email from PayPal before, you can see what's different. Like they just added a few letters in the email to change it up. So yeah, guys, that was a journey. I would say that was a stress thing today.
Yeah.
But how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I think today wasn't too bad. I didn't have too much of a workload at work, and it was kind of like a cloudy day. So I kind of felt a little drowsy today, but it's nice. I feel relaxed. I've been doing a lot. As we're speaking right now, our episode is uploading to YouTube, like the previous one. So we're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone right now. I feel a little accomplished. I feel efficient. I feel efficient. But yeah, so today what I've wanted to go over for a very specific reason, which I will tell later. But the topic of our talk today is going to be the overlooked.
The overlooked.
Dun, dun, dun. The overlooked. So I'm sure somebody listening or anybody listening can say that they have felt or experienced being overlooked or maybe even forgotten. And whether you have always been in the spotlight or maybe you've just been kind of behind the scenes, like I'm just going to do my thing kind of person with whatever you do. You know, I'm sure we've all felt that kind of feeling. Like I feel a little overlooked right now. Maybe just like a specific situation. Maybe not like your whole life, but maybe there's certain situations where you just feel like overlooked. Yeah. People forgot about me at that time. You know?
Even like misunderstood, you know, like I definitely feel that. I feel like everybody at some point in their life that you have felt overlooked or misunderstood by people in your life, or, you know, growing up in school, like people just not fully knowing who you are and things, you know, just being like spread about you or just anything, like people, you're just overlooked, you know?
Yeah.
I think everybody can share or have a little bit of something in there with that.
For sure. Well, here's the thing. Some of the most important roles in our society that we live in, that we are partake in every single day, are overlooked or can be overlooked. It's very easy to overlook them. One of them could be an employee, like a normal employee at a company. Me and you, I mean, we work for companies. You know, I'm an employee at a company. If I don't go into work, that company loses production of what they do. I don't produce what they want me to produce within that company. That company can't grow without the employees. A chef cooks food in the back of the kitchen. Then the server brings it out. And the people that are eating the food, enjoying the food, like, oh, thank you for the food. It tastes great. You know, the server's like, is everything okay? Is there anything else that I can get you? It's all the face of the server.
I honestly feel that. And then the tables are mad at the servers and the who's in the back? Okay, I'm not the one cooking.
Yeah.
The chef is.
I was thinking about you when I came up with that one. For sure.
That's real. I mean, even when I think about for myself, when I go to a restaurant and I'm eating food, it's very rare that I'm thinking like, wow, this chef did a great job. I'm just thinking like, this food is bomb.
For sure. No, but some other things could be a sound guy. If we don't have sound coming through these mics, they are not able to hear us. You know, whoever's listening is not able to hear us if we don't have sound.
Like even like events and stuff.
Events or like church.
Or what about like the decor person, like decorating events,
Decorating
like
the person,
that
yeah.
wouldn't be there if that, like when was the last time you thought about when you walk into a place and you
Exactly.
see how it's decorated, even as simple as like a museum, and you see how beautiful this is, like people put that together, you know. We don't think about, oh, somebody put this together.
Yeah.
Wow, like they're so talented.
A camera guy, if, like, for example, at church, I'm one of the people that handles the camera. And if I'm not on that camera, or if we don't have camera guys in general, then people all around the world or anybody else is not able to experience what they're experiencing inside that building. So very vital role. You know, so if they are not there, very, very important.
Yeah.
Home builders, people that build homes. If we don't have people that are building homes, then the homes just aren't there.
Like somebody built this place.
Yeah, and you can overlook that. Like we're standing and sitting in somewhere right now that someone has put their hands to.
Yeah.
Sweat, blood, tears, like whatever it took. But that can be overlooked.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool to look at. But what all these roles have in common is they're not able to function, or the operation is not able to function without these important roles, without these important keys. And I would argue to say that each one of these roles is probably the most important one. Even though they can be overlooked, it's probably the glue that holds it all together.
Yeah.
You know, the employee is really the person that's growing the business. I mean, that's a bold statement to say. I don't mean like the employees are completely up to it, but like the manager or the boss, whoever owns the company,
they need those employees.
They need the employees. They have the brains to drive it forward, but they need the employees. They need the glue to hold it together. So without them, things would just kind of fall apart. It wouldn't be as efficient. Things wouldn't be happening without these vital roles, you know?
I really like that you're saying it holds it together, and you know, to look at it from this perspective, from a higher view perspective. Maybe it should be like a commercial. We like pop up on our TV. We're like, the higher view.
It's like one of those 80s commercials where it's just like spinning and just
we're like, hey, we here. What's it?
Like one of those progressive commercials.
No, but I really like how you said it brings everything together. It just shows the importance in that one detail, that one person. And I think, like what I was saying, how I think all of us have been overlooked in our life. You know, you're very important. And I feel like anytime you've been overlooked, for example, if it's something you've been passionate about your whole life, whether that's like singing or just anything you can think of. I'm just going to go with singing because I love to sing, but that's something I feel like was overlooked in my life. You know, I remember growing up and I just loved to sing. I sang all the time. I low-key have some videos of me on YouTube when I was younger.
People are gonna go look now.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. No, but I do, and I think that was overlooked in my life. Like nobody was like, hey, like I see you're really passionate about this. Or maybe I wasn't passionate enough in front of people, but behind the scenes I was. And maybe I could have said, hey, like I want to do singing lessons or choir or something like that. But what I'm saying is, I think you could get overlooked in areas in your life that you are going to be used for in the future. And you may have gotten overlooked in that area when you're younger or whatever that looks like, but you're going to be used in that now because that's something in your life that's important and people need to hear that thing or see that thing or whatever it is. Like that home needs to be built. Or what about like interior design is awesome. Like that's an awesome gift to have, to be able to like look around and just see like how things could be put together, like even, you know, fashion and things like that, or business minded, like you being in your role at work, like you have a supply, you have a very important role there. Like, yes, there may be other people in that place that has the same role, but you do it a certain way. You know, like nobody's going to do it the way you do it. Nobody's going to communicate the way you do and get things done the way you do. And so like you play a special part in that role and you may get overlooked sometimes, you know, but I'm not saying you do, but I'm just, you know, just saying. I do. You may get overlooked right now, but it's going to come to your favor, you know, later down the road. Like it is. Absolutely. You know, like these people that build the homes and they're in the middle of building and stuff, they may have that blood, sweat, and tears, like you said, and they don't realize in the moment, like, how this is going to bless those people, you know, where, you know, I think we can overlook ourselves too in the things that we do. We might, you know, you may be raising your children, you may be working so hard towards your business or anything like that, but you may be overlooking yourself.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing to look at all those things and see how important the things that you're doing, that they really matter.
Yeah.
Don't overlook yourself.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
So this weekend, kind of a big announcement.
Yeah.
Kind of something we're very, very excited for this weekend. Suspense. No, don't push it.
I almost pushed the sound.
So this weekend, we are actually going to prison to minister. To minister.
I've definitely never been, so.
We're going to prison to minister. And we're just going to be speaking to the inmates and sharing our stories and just communing, basically having church with them. So we're very, very excited about that. It's both of our first times doing something like this.
Yeah.
It's been something that has been placed on my heart for a while now. And I'm just very, very, very excited to see the outcome, see what's going to be happening. But, you know, inmates, people that are in prison, probably some of the most overlooked, forgotten people that we can come across. You know, it's if you come to the thought of being overlooked, that's what my thought goes to. Somebody that's in jail is overlooked. They're a lost cause, you know? It's seen like that, especially someone who's in there for like a really bad crime.
And they can even feel forgotten.
Yeah.
You know, they can feel overlooked and forgotten, like that their life doesn't matter anymore. And who knows how they feel in there.
Yeah, but the thing is, the people that we're going to be going to speak to, even though they can be considered the most overlooked, and I'm sure that they feel that way. I'm sure that they have felt that in some instance, some time, in some period of their life being in there. They are still signing up to come hear us speak and find purpose in their life. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane. That blows my mind. Because for somebody to be in confinement, for somebody to be where a place where you are overlooked, it's not if, you know, you are overlooked. That's what the society that we live in. For somebody to be overlooked and to still be finding purpose is huge.
Well,
So I think this is the $1 million question.
all right.
Okay.
I like $1 million.
The $1 million question. I'm going to say this maybe twice. Okay. So you guys can hear it. Is your life of any comparison to someone who is in confinement and still finding purpose? Is your life of any comparison to someone who is in confinement and still finding purpose?
So do you want to explain?
The person in confinement
Yeah.
is still finding purpose in confinement. So we have out here in the real world, let's talk about this. We have freedom, a lot more freedom than someone who's in prison. If y'all heard that, that's Ava. But so we have a lot more freedom compared to someone who's in prison. So for us to feel overlooked and have that as like our lifestyle, to claim that as this is who I am, like a brand, like I'm overlooked. The person who I am is overlooked. To claim that as who you are and to compare it to the freedom that we have against someone who is in confinement who absolutely does not have freedom. It just doesn't add up. Like that doesn't fit the mold. Like the freedom that we have does not fit the mold of being overlooked, of having no purpose, of being the person that like, this is just who I am. I'm overlooked. Like I'm forgotten. I'm a lost cause. Like that doesn't fit the mold of the society that we live in, you know?
Yeah. So you're saying like people like in prison, like they are overlooked.
Yes.
For sure. And so they are still choosing to find purpose. They're still choosing to go out of the way and hear things and and strive for something, and they're just hungry, you know? So it's like, you're saying like we shouldn't have an excuse to want that out here.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, like, that's why I asked the question. Is your life of any comparison to someone who is in confinement and still finding purpose? Because you have freedom and you should be finding purpose.
Yeah.
They have to go find purpose. And they have to go out of their way to sign up to go find purpose. Here, we live it.
I would say people put themselves in confinement here. Like it's almost like prison-minded.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Like those people might be physically in prison, but here we put our minds in prison. Like we are in bars and our thinking and our just like walk with life. Like we get stuck. And it's like, you're not meant to just be stuck. You know, like I've said this many times and I'm going to say it again. You don't just arrive to the place. You know, you should always be growing, should always be moving forward and growing. You're never going to just come to a place in your thinking and like, no matter where you're at, no matter what platform or anywhere you are, like you can choose, even if you do arrive to a place of like success in the world's eyes, it might look like that in the world's eyes, but what's going on like within you? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like you're prison minded? You know, are you stuck at the world's views of success? Because as long as you live here on earth, like you still have a purpose. Your time is not over with. If it was, you would not be here. So
Okay. I like that.
So don't put yourself in prison minded because you're literally wasting your life. Even
Dang. It's pretty powerful stuff.
Sleep. No, just joking. Even like, okay, so yes, we go through pain, we go through sorrow, we go through hard things on earth. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I feel like we allow ourselves to be stuck in that. And when we should, like, it's okay to be in seasons and valley seasons and feeling stuck in your pain and hurt. But that's where that fruit, that's where that healing will grow. And when you come on the other side of that. But think about it like this. I'm a little rabbit trailing. Follow along, please. I am sorry. Sometimes my brain does this. But think about like when you're at work for like 8 hours a day and you're just like, you just have a really long day of work and you're just miserable or you just want to go home and you don't want to be doing what you're doing. Find joy in your work. You know what I'm saying? Like find joy in eating and drinking because you worked so hard to afford some cranberry juice that I have. So I'm gonna.
Don't lie, that's wine.
It's not
Don't
wine.
lie. Look at this big thing of wine she's
That
drinking.
is cranberry juice. I am not.
No, I'm just playing.
I would not just kidding. No, but enjoy the water that you have. It's pretty much coming down to the same thing as being thankful and grateful for the things around you. I heard this recently, like when you're sitting in traffic, like be thankful that you even have a car in the first place instead of complaining about sitting in traffic. Like start switching your mindset to being thankful and enjoying your hard work. You know, like when you're sitting at that long day of work, remember like you can find enjoyment in what you're doing no matter what it is, because when it's providing for your life, it's, you know, you're growing, you're there for a reason. And to bring it all together, like if you're not having that perspective, like you're living prison minded, you're living like behind the bars mentally. And Ava keeps crying. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but yeah, you're living prison minded, and don't be in confinement if you don't have to be. We don't have to be. We are free.
Yeah.
We live a free life. We're not physically behind bars. So
yeah.
I just really hope this encouraged you to not be in confinement and to find joy in everything you do.
To tie this all together, the people that work behind the scenes, you are the charger to the phone. You are the ink to the pen. You are the sun to the sunflower. You are seen. I promise you, you are seen. And you are the glue that holds it all together. And in my opinion, what I've learned in my experience in my 24 years of young life, being in not confinement. I was about to say confinement. Being behind the scenes is where I find the most impact. That's where those roles are the most impactful, in my opinion. Behind the scenes, that's where the most magic happens.
Yeah, it does. Even behind the scenes of everything that you do, literally, like what I've been saying, like just even in the cleaning, like you have to clean behind the scenes to like to come home, and
even that can be overlooked. Like someone like a janitor.
Yeah. You know, you're cleaning, like you get to, let's say you clean and stuff like that, and you're overlooking yourself while you're cleaning, but you leave that space and you come back and you're like, like this is so clean. Like if I didn't do that before, wow, I'm so thankful.
Yeah. So don't doubt the position you're in. See it as the blessing it is and thrive in it. With that, we're going to wrap up this episode. If you made it to the end of this episode, as you know, special place for you in heaven. If you like this episode, please like, subscribe, share this episode, rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Let us know how we're doing. Reach out to us. Share us any ideas if you have any. We'd love to hear from you guys. But until then, see things from a higher view. And you want to say anything? That's it.
Don't be overlooked. Don't look at yourself. Don't be overlooked. You know what I'm saying?
Don't be overlooked.
What you're doing is important. Everything that you do is important, and there's a purpose behind those things that you do, even when you don't feel like it.
Yes. That's it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Peace out, guys. Love you.